Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Juicebox Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK, and as always, we have the Dubon Fan Club president, Mr. Chris Moreno, and Sweet B Bones, Mr. Bryles. Fellas, it's almost the weekend. How y'all doing?
Just because it's the weekend, it doesn't mean it's going to be any less busy. So coming home straight clean off of a League City Little League, pretty good sizable victory today. Definitely the kind of win that we need going into the playoffs on Saturday, and then we'll take it from there. That's if this pesky rain that's supposed to come in tomorrow doesn't rearrange that schedule. But hey, we had a series win against a team that I thought that we were not going to win the series. We got an AJ Blubaugh sighting yesterday, and as quickly as we saw him, as quickly as he went. So I'm doing fantastic. Browse, how are things going in the world of Browse?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm glad that my prediction was wrong last week, and yours too. And speaking of predictions, let's give PK his flowers. Good job, sir.
Good job, PK.
Picked it
Yes,
perfect,
sir.
2-1, and yeah, that was coming off a hot Tigers team, so I'm excited to get into that series. Also, boys had a getaway day. They're off today and then playing in Chicago on the north side. So, south side. My bad. Anyway, so we'll talk about that series, breaking it down. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this weekend. PK, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, pretty uneventful. My weeks do not line up with you guys this week, so I feel like I do nothing compared to y'all. But nope, just this weekend, volleyball, big tournament into George R. Brown. So I will be there all weekend. And that is really it. So let's get into the Astros talk. Since this is an Astros podcast, I would like to reiterate what Bryles so nicely said by saying that I, once again, was correct in the predictions.
I don't know about once again. I feel like
Padres, I just said 2-1,
stretch.
and y'all went 1-2, and I hit on the Padres. So I hit on the good
I feel
teams,
like you're getting
and
lucky on these.
I miss on these shit teams. But no, in all seriousness, it was actually a good series win, man. I was. If you follow my blood pressure for the Monday up until the 5th inning and Tuesday up until about the 5th, 6th inning, it was really ticked off at the fact that we weren't doing anything, and then all of a sudden we explode, right? We explode for some runs, but the pitching again kept us in those games to allow for our offense to finally do something, right? So big series win for us. Again, it shows that when we go against the Padres, and they were coming in as the top team in the league. They were 15-4, I think, 15-5 coming when they came into Daikin. We took 2 out of 3 from them, right? Then you have Detroit come in. They're holding the best record in at least the American League, right? And you take 2 out of 3 against them. So it just kind of shows what this team is capable of when their offense is going, because their pitching is so freaking good. Our starting pitching is so good. So when our offense can equal and match what the pitching is doing, this team is unstoppable.
Look out.
Man. Exactly. So let's get into it, man. What do y'all think about the series as a whole? Monday, Tuesday?
I mean, it was a really good series. I mean, it's I was sitting there. I think, what was it, Monday night? Yeah, it was Monday night. Sitting there watching the game from. We were doing our nominations, and I just remember looking. I see the home runs given up, and I'm like, here we go. And then the 4th inning rolls by, and I'm like, here we go. They can't score runs. They can't get on base. Blah 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 blah. By the time I get home, they have like 5 or 6 runs. I'm like, I don't even know what happened. But yeah, man. I mean, it's basically what you said is 100% right. I mean, like, if the offense can match what the pitching's doing, then look out. I mean, like you've seen, like if you look in the standings, Texas has kind of fallen off. Still a little early in the season, though. I mean, we just opened up May today. Seattle's kind of doing their thing. I mean, but I feel like if this offense can perform, and we talked about it before. This offense, this isn't the slack. This isn't a Colorado Rockies 5-20 lineup where anytime they do anything that's worth anything, it's celebration downtown. I mean, this is a pretty damn offense. It's just a matter of whatever it's got them into this slump, they've got to get out of it. And we saw that 2 games. The game yesterday, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yesterday was kind of like if there was any definition of a throwaway game, it was yesterday. You
1000%.
Yeah, you got them calling up Blubaugh, and and like I said, once we kind of progressed or get to where we wanted to discuss Blubaugh more from what I saw with his performance. I mean, he didn't look terrible, he didn't look great, but yeah. I mean, so bring on the White Sox. This is definitely a team that we could definitely continue to rise the standard for the offense. But yeah, man, all in all, like I said, any time that I'm wrong when I predict a 1-2 series, I'm good with it. So yeah, man. Barles, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great series. Detroit came into Houston, obviously with our former manager and World Series champion AJ Hinch as the hottest team in the American League. That's why I took them at 1-2, the Astros at 1-2 to come into the series and not necessarily do a whole lot. And Chris, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that you were looking at too. So PK saw through all that.
That's right.
Good for you, sir.
That's
and
correct.
I appreciate it.
It's all of his advanced scouting he's been doing.
That is, yes.
Yeah.
While y'all are at Little League Baseball, I'm doing the analytics.
He's crunching the numbers.
That's correct.
Well, I appreciate that, and I really appreciate the fact that how they played the first 2 games. And, with Altuve being the leader on this team and being the captain, with him actually going to a spot and saying, hey, drop me back into the 2-hole, and then putting Peña in the leadoff spot, at first I was like, I don't know if that's the best idea in the entire world. I mean, I know Peña's got the speed, but it's actually worked out. It's worked out really well. So I think that gives a little bit of protection to Yordan on that. And we saw a whole bunch of offense wake up on Monday and Tuesday against 2 pitchers that they shouldn't have necessarily been just knocking around. And then just like you guys said on the Wednesday game, it was a little bit of a throwaway game. I know Blubaugh came up for a cup of coffee. It was good to see him get in there and get his start. I do think that Spada mismanaged kind of when he should have taken him out. But, I mean, worst come to worst, we still won the series. We got the 2-1 win. They've got the day off today, and then they're going to be going in hot, I think, going into Chicago coming up. So I really like the way this whole thing turned out, and I think that we are turning things around. Obviously, we went from 4th in the division, and we are currently sitting in 2nd. So I am not complaining about that at all.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter about Altuve asking to move down to the 2nd spot. And I don't know if it's true. It's funny, so it probably isn't true, but it's something along the lines of he needed more time to get from left field to the dugout because he was tired. That's why he asked to be put in the 2nd spot.
I didn't hear that one.
So I'm going to go out on the limb and say that one's just a stupid Twitter post. But I thought it was pretty funny. But no, and I'm glad you brought that up because was listening to the broadcast on Tuesday, and Blummer was talking about Peña being, number in the leadoff spot shows how much Espada trusts him with his bat, which if you think about it that way, think about how far Peña has come with his plate discipline this season. I mean, he still chases, right? But since he's been in that leadoff spot, these, 3 games, he looks like he belongs air quotes in that spot. Like the lineup flows pretty well. I agree. It's more protection for Yordan. So I really like the Peña being up front, leading us off, because you're right. He can top the ball. How many infield singles does he get batting in the 6-7 spot, right? I mean, we see it all the time. He's a cheetah, right? So if you can put pressure on the opposing pitcher right from the jump with a quick base runner, it just opens up the doors for possible mistakes. I mean, hell, Altuve can drop a bunt, move him over, and might even beat out the throw as well. So, that Olsen kid for the Tigers, I think that was on Tuesday. I think Tuesday Olsen pitched. The dude was dominating the lineup and he had one inning, his last inning, where he walked Peña. I think he walked Altuve. He made a mistake to Paredes, and Paredes hit it off the wall deep, right? I mean, but up until that point, Olsen had been dominating the Astros lineup, and but it started with Peña drawing a walk. That's what started that. Get on base, because that guy was only at 78 pitches going into, I think, the 6th inning. I think it was, so he was still pretty efficient going in, but it shows just like how crazy one pitch, one mistake turns the game around, and not just from a home run perspective, but you put runners on free passes, and then you make a mistake to a hitter, and he puts it off the wall, and there you go. Game's getting out of hand. On the verge of getting out of hand. So that's the kind of offense that we're looking for, or we've been waiting for. We know these guys can hit. I mean, Walker's still doing Walker things this series. I mean, he's, what was it, Monday? He hit one off the tracks, I think, Monday. And Altuve hit one.
He's looking better.
There, looking a lot better. So, like, it's really encouraging to see what the offense is doing. The Blubaugh thing on Wednesday, completely agree. Throwaway game. Let him have his, few innings. What do you got? Like 4 innings, I think. I was working.
Yeah, he went
4. So, all I saw was a text in our group chat that got ugly quickly, and that's when I checked the score, and it was 7-0. I was like, ooh, okay. So I know we made a little bit of a run. I think we ended up losing 7-4. I think Peña went yard.
He let off the game with a home run. So just to add to the Peña leadoff, thing.
Okay.
He went
See?
deep.
Yeah. So I like Peña in the leadoff spot, man. I think you keep running that out there until hopefully it doesn't, but until that little, until that run ends. I don't see the downside to it.
No, I agree. I mean, it's the old baseball verbiage. You run it until you can't run it no more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like I said, and he looked good yesterday. First pitch of the game, took Jackson Jobe, to the Crawford boxes, and then, unfortunately, he also was responsible for that error that led to that grand slam that Blubaugh gave up. I mean, but, what I saw from Blubaugh yesterday was pretty much kind of his MO. I mean, he's a big, he's not big. I mean, he's kind of a lean kid, but definitely a power pitcher. He's going to rely a lot on the strikeouts, but he's also prone to giving up the home runs, as we saw down in AAA the last time we watched him pitch. Yesterday, we saw him give up a couple jacks. But yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, if he would have gave you anything that was worth to write home, then you would probably say that was a game that we stole.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like, yesterday is what it is. Now we got the White Sox coming up. I mean, but I agree. I mean, I like seeing Peña in the leadoff, batting leadoff. He's the king of, beating out dribblers. I mean, so.
Oh my God, yeah.
He gets on base. He's still second. You want to play small ball, you have Altuve bunt him over, and then he hand it over to the big boys if you want to play small ball. Or, Altuve, does Altuve things, drives him in or does whatever. I agree. Play the hot deck while it's hot, and then, then make adjustments when it's not hot anymore. That's where I'm at.
Did y'all see that Altuve came out asking about Peña getting extended?
No.
Yes, I did see that. I saw that. Yeah, no, he was a huge proponent of that. And I understand he tried to do that with Bregman and it didn't work out, obviously, but we're not even going to get into that. But yeah, they need to extend Peña. And, just like we've talked about, he's like a Billy Bean dream. Because what does he do? He gets on base.
He gets on base, man.
He gets on base. But his batting average is 226. He gets on base.
Gets on
you
base.
See his girlfriend? He gets on base.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I mean,
doesn't matter. But yeah, I did see that, and he needs to get extended.
But you got a guy with dreads right now, whether they're real or fake. That's the guy who potentially is about to leave. And I understand Hunter Brown has been a complete gangster this season, and for almost in a calendar year that we spoke about on Sunday. I mean, but like, are we 100% ready to give Hunter Brown the reins with no Fromber going number 1 or Fromber going number 2. So that's another thing you kind of have to look at as well. It's like, as much as I would love to see Jeremy Peña, you've got a couple more years on Jeremy Peña. Like, hell, he was a rookie in 22, so he still has like another 5 years of arbitration starting in 2023. So you still got like another 2-3 years before you even really need to think about talking about a Peña extension. You got guys you need to take care of.
That's correct, but you saw what the Astros did to avoid all those arbitration years with Bregman, where they signed him for this 5-year, $100 million extension or whatever it was. The same with Jordan. You get him on the cheap, right? I mean, if $100 million is cheap, I mean, relative to what the market would have, got. For them.
No, they got him cheap.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got both those guys cheap.
I think you. It's got to be a conversation. You're not going to be able to extend Hunter Brown.
But,
right, I don't think so. I think you're now that he's
Hunter Brown's
now that
go
he's
bye-bye.
Right, but so now that he's doing what he's doing,
but so I mean, like, my thing is this: I love me some Jeremy Peña, right? I'm on board with Jeremy Peña, but Jeremy Peña, I don't even think is in the same stratosphere as where Bregman was when you gave him that first extension. I mean, I love his defense. But so we're talking about two different, situations. I mean, Peña, I think he's the guy that you could wait to maybe a year. I mean, if we want to have this conversation in 2027, okay, I'm cool with it. But 2025, I mean, like I said, now if Peña was doing Bregman numbers or Bregman things the first like 2 or 3 years, Bregman was doing his thing, absolutely, we're having this conversation. I mean, but like he doesn't get that, pass go and collect $200, ASAP that Bregman got. That I think we never worked anything out with Springer, did we? I don't think we did.
No,
but like
he's
not going to get that.
He was older.
He's not going to get that. Take the jump to get that extension like Jordan was, like Peña was, like Altuve was. Or not Peña, but Bregman. I like I said, as much as I love Peña, we're talking about two completely different levels of players between Bregman and Peña. So I think
yes, but I think if you can keep him around for cheaper, if he keeps ascending, then it becomes. I mean,
he's going to ascend,
just like with any player. The lower they ascend, the higher their price tag goes. We know it. I almost said Drake McClain. Good God, I just dated myself.
Good old Drake McClain, man. That's awesome right there.
Well, Jim Crane. Oh, we know what all Jim Crane does, but not, playing the market. So, is this something that I saw today? I think you start the conversations for sure about what the possibility is, because Hunter Brown, you missed your opportunity. I feel like to extend him last season. Right. So now every outing that he goes and every outing that he continues to dominate, the higher the price tag goes up for him. Right. Scott Boras is his agent. So we know how that rolls during the offseason or, during free agency when he hits it. Fromber, I think if I'm picking to answer your question a minute ago, I'm ready to give Hunter Brown the reins as the staff ace. And if I'm picking between those two, I'm investing into Hunter Brown on it.
I mean, Hunter Brown's younger, so you're definitely going to invest the money. But
I think from an overall pitching standpoint, like I have more faith, I have more trust in Hunter Brown when he takes the mound than I do with Fromber, because we talked about it before. We never know what Fromber's going to be doing on the mound. Never know.
Which Fromber you going to get?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, but. And I agree. I agree. We're gonna, when if you have to choose between Fromber and Hunter Brown, I think it's pretty unanimous. You go Hunter Brown, right? I mean, but like with Peña, it's just like, Peña is gonna make a little bit more, but is Peña a $20 million shortstop? No, I don't think he's a $20 million shortstop.
Okay, so is he better than Dansby Swanson?
Damn, Skippy.
I'd have to look at his stats. I know Swanson's pretty good defensively. I mean. And like I said, Peña the last 3 years has been about what, 240, 250? I mean, so it's not like, put it this way, it's not like Jeremy Peña is doing Correa things at shortstop. That's all I'm saying. Is that
so this year Swanson, his base salary is $27 million.
Yeah, I would absolutely not give
Well, he's getting
either one
overpaid
of
though.
them $26
But,
million. Oh,
yeah,
he's
I mean,
absolutely getting
no,
overpaid.
I'm just saying.
I would
But
say
what I'm
Jeremy Peña probably as of right now, if he was to be given a contract extension, right? Or if he was a free agent. If I was a GM, which I'm obviously I'm not, I would not offer him any more than maybe 13 a year
okay,
for
but
him.
look, Swanson in 22 signed a 7-year 177.
Yeah, but
7-year
Swanson was
177.
also a first round pick. Like
It
I
doesn't
think he was
matter.
like a
If
number
you're
one,
good,
number
you're
two. And
good.
that means a lot. Yeah, that means a lot,
No,
man.
I know that. I mean,
No,
he was
the
what
number one pick.
he was number one pick, I
Yeah.
think. Because that was Bregman
Yeah,
was
You
two.
know,
for the
That's why
and he
Diamondbacks.
actually had
Bregman
like,
wore two.
and he actually had a couple of really good seasons, not just a good postseason. So
I get it. I understand
I
that.
mean,
But
so
I'm
like,
saying if you're
I still think he's overpaid, but I mean, I still think Dansby Swanson is probably a half a tier or tier above Jeremy Peña right now. Now, I'm not saying Jeremy
really
Peña can't get to where he's at and pass him up. I'm just saying. I mean, like as of right now, maybe his bat's better than Dansby Swanson. Either way, I want to give either one of them 26 million. Neither one of them.
No,
That's all.
Chris, I agree with you on that. And PK, your expression on that one, I agree with that as well. I think he's worth way more than $13 million a year. But
That's
listen,
all I
I think he's a better shortstop than Dansby Swanson. I think hands down, defensively, speed, like every tool that you can think of. I think he's got Dansby Swanson beat if that's his comp. And keep in mind, he was the 2022 ALCS MVP.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what
wrong?
I'm saying. He's had one really good postseason. That's it. Dansby Swanson's had a couple of pretty
But
good seasons.
Yeah,
That's why he got paid 26 million.
I think he
But,
got paid
regardless.
$26 million in a contract year when the entire league was kind of short on really superstar shortstops, or they'd already been signed up or
Did he
locked
hit
up
free?
or whatever the
Did he
case may
hit free
be.
agency the same year that Correa, Seager, and them hit it as well, or was he the year before?
Yes, all those guys. He was.
So
oh,
there
no, he
was
the year
not there
before.
was not
You're
a
right.
shortage of good shortstops, is what
No,
I'm saying.
Right.
it was the year before. You're right.
no.
Okay, so it was the year
yes.
before. Okay, that makes sense. But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I mean, like, whatever. We're splitting hairs at this point. I still wouldn't give him any more than 13 million, but that's just me. But hey, we've got a pretty big return coming in a couple of days. Let's stop talking about Dansby Swanson. Nobody gives a shit about him.
Well, we're not talking about it. We're just trying to compare.
Well,
I'm taking Peña over Swanson all day.
I don't.
If you don't mind, though, Chris, I do want to answer your question real quick about the Valdez and the Hunter Brown. Well, too bad. No, I'm ready to give. I am ready to give Hunter Brown the reins over. And the only reason I'm saying that is if you go back and look at Framber's career, he has done his best work as a number two. I think he needs to be signed again, but he needs to get signed as a number two. Don't go out and give him like number one money. Give him number two money. Bring him on. Take that pressure off of him. Because we know what happens. He'll get in his own head and he'll end up screwing up a couple of starts. He's 1-3 right now. There's a reason for that. So, and Hunter Brown looks like the best pitcher in the American League right now. So,
I mean, that sounds like a fantastic
that's where
idea,
I'm at with
man.
that one. Yes.
However, one of these teams are going to give him
stupid money. Stupid money.
I'm telling you. And I agree. What you're saying is the smart decision.
Let him do it and put Arrighetti at number two.
Somebody, it's going to be some probably the Dodgers or somebody are going to give him ace money. Because like I said, if you look at his stats last year, even though he was all crazy, I mean, like you look at his stats are still like, if you look at just the numbers, not all the headaches and the gray hairs he gave Astros fans, his numbers are fantastic. If you just look at the numbers, the guy had a sub 2.60 ERA last year, and we're bitching about what Framber we're going to get. So there's going to be Boston, one of those teams that are looking for a left-handed pitcher that are going to pay him that ace money. So, which again, I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong, but what I'm saying is he's going to laugh in Framber. He's going to laugh at Framber. He's going to whip over his dreadlocks as he walks out to somebody who gives him ace money. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's a good debate. Let's we got a few minutes left here. Let's get into the weekend series.
Let's rein this in a little bit.
Well, look, I like it. I didn't realize that my question on Altuve, getting Peña out in the public was gonna getting extended was gonna take on that little life that it had, but I like it. But yeah, we got the White Sox up in Chicago this weekend. LMJ is gonna make his season debut. Been out of the game, just in case y'all been living under a rock for
There we go.
2 seasons. Seems like, 2 seasons. Yeah, 23, right?
22 was his last out in the World Series.
Yeah. So he's coming back. I'm really excited to see him pitch. I think he had an interview here, or several interviews here recently, but there was one I watched where he was just talking about how difficult the road was, the doubt if he was ever going to be able to come back, if his arm was going to recover, which I would assume any pitcher or any athlete that goes through that level of, rehab for their arm or injury, I'm sure there's some kind of doubt at some point that comes in. But this guy's looking at 2 years of not pitching because of injuries. So he's on the bump Sunday, man. Mr. 43.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what he's got. I mean, like, I'm sure he'll have the jitters and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it's long overdue, man. Like, I've been, we've been all as Astros fans ready for him to come back and, hopefully pitch well. And it's funny because, like, I want to say the last time I remember him before he got hurt, the time before that, I think it was 2021. He got hurt in that divisional series game against the White Sox. Yeah, so this will be a nice little, hopefully, payback. Well, maybe he'll go 5. I'm sure he'll be on a pitch count, but the main thing is I hope he gets through it and no issues, and we get a W.
You know what I like about it is I'm glad that his first start back is on the road and not at home, because I feel like if it was at home, it would be a little bit more amped up, possible more nerves as you're at home.
A lot of pressure. Yeah.
A lot of pressure, which is already going to be, I think, self-pressure he puts on himself. But you're on the road. It's just you and the team. Get out there and just go battle. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that his first start's on the road. It's going to be, I would assume it's going to be freaking crazy when he makes his debut at Daikin.
I mean, it also helps that he's going up against one of the shittiest teams in baseball too. I'm sure that was pretty much by design.
8-23, just to be clear.
Yeah,
that's what I was just about to say. 8 wins.
This is definitely a confidence building start, I would think.
Well, it should be. Who do we got on Friday?
I hope so. We'll see.
The rotation flipped over, right, Rouse?
Yes, it did. So we got Fromber going on Friday, Hunter Brown on Saturday, and then, as we've already mentioned, LMJ going on Sunday. So we've got 3 really good games of pitching against 3 guys for the White Sox.
3 guys. Now, any of those guys, any young, decent pitching? You
got Cannon on Friday. He's 1-3 with a 4.5. Martin, 1-3 with a 3.24, and then Wilson 0-1 with a 5 ERA on Sunday. Couldn't tell you anything about any of those 3 guys.
Yeah, so I think Cannon's probably the one with the highest upside, but I mean the other 2 guys are just guys. I mean, yeah, I mean they're still in heavy rebuild mode, so this should be
I would say
pretty good. Yeah. I mean, they're not like Colorado Rockies bad, but they can get out of this series and be right there with the Rockies. And if that's what they're trying to do, we can help them get to that point.
But this is the team. These are the type of teams where you have to win the series. You can't go in there and pussyfoot around and drop the damn series. Like, you just can't. Like, you can't do that. You don't play. We don't need to play down to the opponent. We saw what you can do against 2 teams that came into your home stadium with the best record in baseball, at least at a minimum American League, and you took care of business. So go to Chicago, get your series win, move on to the next, and then just start stacking some W's.
I like it. Sign me up.
All right, let's do Let's do some predictions.
All right, who's going first?
Not all at once.
I'll take it
All right,
first.
not everybody at once. All right, Bros, go ahead.
Nope. I'll take it first. So I'm going 3-game sweep.
Damn it,
I
that's
think we're
what
going to go
I was
in
do. All right, go
there.
ahead.
Hey, you asked who was going first. I'm saying
I know.
3-game sweep. I think we're going to go in. We've got 3 really good pitchers against 3 guys. So not only that, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to go over, assuming that the over-under is going to be averaging 7 on each game. And the only reason I'm going under on game 2 on Saturday is because we got Hunter Brown on the mound. And listen, if he doesn't get close to a no-hitter, I will be shocked, because the White Sox have the worst offense in all of baseball. And we're talking also with a 6-win Rocky team being mixed into that. So this is not a good baseball team, guys. And I really think that they're just going to go in and absolutely dominate.
Okay.
I like
Get
it.
the brooms out.
I am also gonna pull out the brooms. I think it's gonna be a 3-0 sweep as well. That offense is hammer dog shit. That team just sucks. But to take it one step, because I feel like I need a tiebreaker, I'm gonna go. They're gonna win game 1, 5-2. Game 2 is gonna be 4-0, and then I have the LMJ game. I have that going 6-2. The sweep. I mean, I'll still take a series win, but they should sweep. I mean, this team is terrible.
Yeah. So I will. I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-1 series win. Here's my thing for the loss. As excited as I am to see LMJ back on the bump, you don't really know what you're going to be getting from him. You saw, we've seen his recent outings in AA and AAA, held his own, right? I'm not saying that we already said the White Sox are a terrible offense, right? With a bunch of minor league players, essentially, they're top, some of the top players on that team. So I think my only thing is as excited as I am to see LMJ come back, I want him to do good. I want him to, build that confidence. We are going to have, I would assume, a pitch count for him, like we talked about earlier. So I feel like maybe on Sunday, if they put in Taylor Scott after him, then maybe the game can get out of hand.
Little hairy.
So, little hairy.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 2-1. Win Friday, win Saturday. And then Sunday we'll just, for grins and giggles, be a little bit different. But I think Sunday might be the day we kind of trip up. But still, series win, so.
Well, you never know who Espada's going to put in on Sunday for a getaway game, too. So,
That's
true.
true.
You might
I feel like, but it's LMJ's first game in 14 years. I don't think he's going to go with his B lineup. I mean, he's going to go with.
I would hope not.
You should.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to want to build confidence. So we're going to probably see the entire starting lineup. They're not going to go throw like you would see back in 2011, where you'd have guys that you forgot they were on the team. Like, you're not going to go see Greg Kessinger play shortstop for Lance McCullers' first start, since 2022. You might see some rested. You might. I don't know. I could be wrong. You might. So
you might see some Chazzy.
I thought he got DFA'd by the Diamondbacks.
I think he did.
He did.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I miss something? I was like, please, God, tell me he's not back.
Did Cam Smith play? Did Cam Smith play yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
DeCenzo played.
DeCenzo played.
Yeah, DeCenzo was in right field.
Okay, so we should get some Cam Smith action this weekend then.
We should.
Well, cool. There it is. 3-0 series sweep for Bryles. 3-0 series sweep for the one they call the Dubon Fan Club president. I'm taking 2-1 just to be different. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in every week and listening to us, watching us. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Juicebox Heroes, on X at Juicebox Heroes, Juicebox_Heroes, sorry. And we are on Instagram. We're on the gram at Juice_Box Heroes. Fellas, y'all have a great weekend. Good luck with y'all's playoffs on Saturday. We will talk to y'all on Sunday to recap the weekend series. But as always, I am PK. That's Chris. That's Bryles. And this is the Juice Box Heroes podcast. Hey, big sweep. Big Longhorn sweep over the last weekend on the Zaggies, baby. Those were good games.
I saw that.
Keep riding those out, man.
Good games. Good games.
Good luck at the